Hello there. Today I want to talk about the 13 men women should avoid at all costs. You can't be 100% that you are dealing with the right man, because most have the nice guy act on point and it's hard to see through their lies if you have a hard time to spot dishonesty. You can count on men to screw you over, have sex with you and leave you with a baby behind, but you can't count on them to act like their age and be devoted. But if you avoid the problematic signs, you're well on your way to find something good among the trash. Don't date men who don't want to hear the word no. If a man walks up to you and pulls his phone out so that you can put your phone number in while you already said no, then it's a big sign that he's a loser. A man who truly wants to get to know you wouldn't walk up to and ask for personal details. Men who are genuinely looking for love wouldn't behave this way no matter what excuses men have for this behavior. If he doesn't respect the word no, then he wouldn't respect the word no when he crosses your boundaries, and would disregard you, including their children, when they found a new piece of ass. I've been in that unpleasant situation at night where a man wouldn't listen to the word no, and even when I lied and said that I'm engaged, he tried to get between that and say that I'm his dream woman, pretending like he cares, wishing me a safe night when I walked away. But if I was the unlucky one and dated him, then I wouldn't go any further than the yard, because men who won't listen to the word no will ignore your feelings, ignore your depression caused by the semi-solitude lifestyle they forced upon you. Like a child, they refuse to understand that relationship doesn't change into dog leash. Women still have the right to have a private life and stand wherever they want, but with men like that you will be giving that right up. Number 2 on my list will be mama's boys. If you don't want a child in your life, then these men should be avoided. I'm not talking about gentlemen who see their mothers as queens or want to be a devoted son to honor their mothers. But these mama's boys who are pampered by their mothers will try and find a mother figure in their girlfriends and wife. They sit on their ass all day, expect you to do everything around the house. It's like being a single mother, because these men are big babies who nothing but moan that they are tired, while they don't feel tired when they play video games all night. Like traditional men, they hide behind the gender roles that you need to do everything, but unlike the traditional man, he won't bring anything useful or value on the table. Being nice is not enough. If a man can't be an asset in your life, then it's time to break up. Number 3, game addicts. If you see the last PlayStation or latest Xbox lying anywhere, then be wary. These people would gladly let their life fade away to play games. They will not be a good example to his children, and don't prioritize his time to do something useful like go to university and study for his degree. They have the tendency to let opportunities go by just to play online. If he has his addiction under control and only plays once a week, I suggest that you could be good friends, but nobody has his addiction under control forever, because that day he keeps free to play games could be spent on you or to study. I'm all for playing and be a child once in a while, but not like this. I'm talking about have a snowball fight. Go to Disney World for a day of fun. At least you unleash the happy hormone and you're active. You also create more friends that way if you are a bit of an introvert. Unless you earn a living as a gamer, you travel the world to play all kinds of games, then at least you made your addiction into your source of income. But where is the time to be a father or a husband you deserve? Because when he's not traveling or gaming for money, he's at home doing nothing but feed his obsession, sitting behind a screen. If being a gamer is your purpose in life, then I'm not here to criticize you. It's your life, but it's less likely you have the responsibility of being a man if your world mostly revolve around it. Number 4. Don't date the workaholics. There is nothing wrong with hard workers. In fact, they should be seen as examples. Hard workers will inspire you to do the same, but when it becomes an obsession, then be wary. If you want to have a neglectful marriage where you hardly see your spouse, no sex or attendance towards your wishes, then that's the right man for you. A lot of women might disagree and mention that their men always make time for them, but that's only in the beginning. When the loot is in, they will use the "I'm overworking" excuse to hook up with their secretary with a waterproof alibi. Since he's at the office almost every day, they will shower you with gifts and affection after a while of hiatus, because he's shushing his guilty feelings for hooking up with another woman, not because he doesn't want you to leave. In fact, anyone with obsessions and addictions are a waste of time. Number 5. Broke men. Not having a lot of money is different than being broke, and you will end up providing for him and maybe his broke friends too. Don't even be friends with them. Sob stories, acting like they enjoy being with you. Be attentive and do the dishes for you when you have aching feet, for example, and then they'll ask you for your money, assuming that being nice equals the right to your wallet. They also look for a free place to live and win your heart to get it. Number 6. Avoid the ones who don't even try to be open and welcoming despite feeling shy or introvert. Have you ever imagined a date where you only hear the crickets chirp? That's what you get from quiet or shy men who aren't even bothered to do something about it. Talking is the foundation of any good relationship with people. Men don't have to chew your ear off in every conversation, but being open to answer your question attentively, give long answers are the men who try despite lack of social skills. I'm not a chatty person myself, but I would never let the conversation go dead or be quiet during a date. It is very disrespectful, because a man like that are giving the idea that you should just take him the way he is, but he expects you to use your free time on him. Not only is it disrespectful, but also self-centered, because when you ask someone for her time and she's interested, then make sure she's having a wonderful moment with you. A date is not men's little safe space for their anxiety or shyness, so don't let them treat it as one. No girl should just accept how men are if their behavior or lack of behavior prevents you from having a good time. When you have the feeling you are putting up with someone instead of getting to know him, then it's a deal breaker. It won't change when the relationship starts. It won't change when you are married or have kids. You'll be stuck with disappointment that could have been avoided. It's part of the natural selection and finding the strongest genes to make your bloodline survive. The same happens in the animal kingdom. Bucks fight for rights to have a mate, and an uncivilized primitive people do the same. They are aware of the natural selection, so there is nothing unfair about wanting the best you can find. Men, especially in an age group of the leftover category, pray for the young women who are very fertile and healthy, strong, or a specific race like beautiful Asian women who are guaranteed to age slowly and remain thin through their whole life, or Africans for their strong organs with chances of much higher birth date for their bloodline survival. So if they can have standards about what a woman should have, then so can we. Number 7. If you want children, then it's time to be very ferociously picky. Don't start a family with men who will pass their condition over to your children. Your daughter's mental health and physical health lies within your decision. You can choose your man without being mentally or physically affected by him, but children can't choose their father nor exclude his conditions. It's not his feelings you should be worried about when you reject him or feel like you're being heartless, because denying your children the right to be born healthy, then that's the epitome of being heartless. You're allowing them to carry their father's diseases, illnesses, or burdens to the next generation. I saw an interview with a man who has a genetic disease, but he chooses not to have children, because he doesn't want to risk the chance of his children to getting it too, and that's the most beautiful gift a father can give his children. So don't let men burden your daughters with illnesses that could have been 70% prevented if you had chosen someone who is free from it. Number 8. Avoid older men. I'm not talking about men who are 7 years older than you, but like 20 or 30 years your senior. Don't fall for the myth that older men are more mature, because that's far from the truth. I've seen men on YouTube acting like children while they are approaching 40. They don't approach you because you're their ideal woman, or dated plenty of women their age and unexpectedly found themselves falling for you, or dated young and women his age, because it doesn't really matter to them as long you're fun. It's for their own self-absorbed gain to have a baby with you, or want a younger woman, because they are easier to control. Like a vampire, old men want something from you that keeps them young. They want your youth and the energy you have in your prime to be controlled by them. You'll only serve as a cute trophy wife, and eventually they will rob you from your childhood if you're still in your teens, and ruin the beauty and potential you possess as a young woman, so that they can drag you along with them in the nothingness of being a leftover man. They are like dogs. When a bone no longer looks appetizing, you'll be traded in for a better one. Number 9. The stalker hands-on type. Men who make you feel like you need to report to them where you are going or expect you to keep in touch as a habit, or you'll get a message from him why he doesn't hear anything from you, is not how a man should be acting, and the so-called protectiveness to this extent is unpleasant, because it ruins the desire to do anything on a whim, because you need an explanation for that or discuss it with him first. There is a fine line between caring and looking after your safety and stalking your phone, and there is nothing less attractive than men who refuse to stay in their lane. They are not your guardian, so they have no business talking to you when you are spending time away from them, and if you don't point out that you don't appreciate it, then they'll hijack your whole life, and soon you won't be able to set one foot out of the house without being questioned. Don't let other women tell you that being denied of something you could do before you got together or jealousy, being checked up on, worrying about you when there is no possible danger is a sign that he cares. A man who cares respects you enough not to put limitations on your lifestyle. If you want to go anywhere or do something and the first thing that comes to your mind is texting him before you do, it shows you are dealing with a hands-on stalker man and already has control over you mentally. A phone should only be used to plan a date with you, not a tool to use to make him feel better about his paranoia or enforce rules upon you. Where are you? What are you doing? Is the movie over? When will you be home? Are questions you shouldn't tolerate when he calls you. You are not a minor, you wouldn't allow your parents to treat you like that, so I allow men to do it. Number 10. The Stingy Man. Ever been in a situation where you won't hear a peep from him when you use your money to buy stuff for him, but when it's his turn he comes with the option to put money together to buy a popcorn at the movies? Yeah, me too. Men who don't want to show you their gratitude by buying you stuff for your birthday, Christmas, or won't pay for you as much as you pay for him, or gives you an attitude when it's his turn to pay for a day, then leave him behind. Don't ever assume that they'll be less stingy when you become an important woman in their lives. Men won't change for you but expect you to be remodeled into a wife they want if they feel that there is something that doesn't fit their liking. A wife, girlfriend, or an investment. You buy them gifts and show your generous side. That's the least they can do for you, since being with men isn't easy. It's a constant battle of guarding your boundaries or they'll walk all over you. Number 11. Mood swingers. Nobody wants to deal with men who has the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality, or someone who switches moods. They cancel dates on the last minute or have any kind of excuse to be annoying, and you just have to accept it. Being snapped at or have them raise their voice to you on their manic episode is the last thing you need. Number 12. The Meddler. You have a right to do things and tell him on a later time, or keep things to yourself until you succeed in achieving or things that aren't his business. But meddling men have controlling tendencies, and they need to know every step you take in the long run. It's like you're a minor for the rest of your life and you need to explain yourself all the time. And last but not least. Number 13. Single fathers. There is no pros with dating a used-up leftover man, just the cons. If a man can't be an asset in your life, or be at least a bit useful for whatever reason, then be wary and stay away.